But I don't think she's going to let you guys drive down. But I just, I'm so excited right now. I can't stand it. Just because of what I see happening in the industry that we're in. Scott just talked to you about travel. I just got off a cruise ship full of people. Everything in the news says the economy is bad and people don't have money and people aren't traveling. And then I had to fight to get off the ship to get here in time. I mean, it was people everywhere. And then I get into the airport and there's people everywhere. And then we land in Atlanta and guess what? People everywhere. We're in the hottest industry in the world. We're in the sexiest industry in the world. I mean, when you get an opportunity, just this month alone, let's say we started in October with Miami. We went from Miami to London. We went from London to Paris. We went from Paris to Rome, Italy. We got back from Rome, Italy, and then jumped on a cruise ship to Mexico, and then we flew here. That's just the last 30 days. And in 2 weeks, we get on a plane to Tahiti, Bora Bora for 12 more days. This is work, though. Don't look at me like I'm not working. This is what we do. This is work. You said our job is to talk to people. You didn't say where those people had to be. Those places, right? So technically, Angelita, you're the queen of this. Was I not working? See, I was working. And guys, but let me talk to you for a minute. Can I talk to the guests just for a minute? Because sometimes when you hear all of this and you hear about travel and you hear all the excitement involved in that, it goes over your head because you see, our brains don't relate money and problems with fun and travel. And the immediate response in your brain is, okay, these people look like they're having fun, so I'll come back and get with them when I got some money. And you almost forget that we're saying you can make the money here and turn around and spend it traveling for pennies on the dollar here. You can do it all here, and you tend to forget that sometimes. And that's why I go back to when I first was introduced. You see, I, like Scott, but probably even worse, when I saw a first business opportunity, I was broke. I was a college student in between my junior and senior year. I was 19 years old. I had no job, no money, no checking account, no wife, no kids, nothing. They said to qualify to work here, you should be 25, married, own a home. I was a no-pointer out of 5 points. I was the guy that they just was like, don't even waste your time talking to him after the meeting. I promise you, he don't have enough money to join. I was that guy, and they were right. But I wanted an opportunity to change my life and do something different, and that's why I got started. See, guys, but travel, when I got introduced to this travel business, everybody was all up in arms about travel. Let me tell you something, travel didn't excite me. When I first took a look at this travel business with them, I didn't even have a passport. A lot of people don't know this story. I didn't get my passport in 2006, and I got started working with you guys in 2006. I had made a lot of money and still never left the country. See, I grew up poor in a poor neighborhood. In our neighborhood, we didn't talk about travel. A vacation in my family was a trip to my grandmother's house in the summer, right? You knew it was time to go when my mother started frying all that chicken. And she started lining the shoe boxes. Because that's what you put travel chicken in, right? Travel chicken, you fill up the shoe boxes. They already got all the paper towels in it to soak up the grease. The reason we use fried chicken is the one food you can eat hot or what? As long as it got hot sauce, right? As long as it got hot sauce, you can eat it hot or cold. And then my mother would pack us in the car and drive from New Jersey to Thomaston, Georgia every summer till I was in the 11th grade. That was the trip. That was called summer vacation. It was the only vacation I had ever been on in my life. I look at some of these little kids whose parents are taking them on cruises and all around the world, and I go, man, I couldn't even imagine what I would have turned out like. if I had gotten exposed like that. I got exposed all right. I got exposed to grandmama's house. My grandmother was an entrepreneur. She owned the Blue Dot Cafe. And that's where I worked all summer. Child labor camp. Because there was zero pay involved with this situation. I remember the first day we'd be so excited, all the first cousins jump out of the car because my mother had 9 brothers and sisters, and they all had the same idea of summer vacation. And we get there the first day and we see our cousins for the first time. We start running around the farm. My grandmother had chickens and hogs and all kinds of animals. And then as nighttime comes, we start thinking, I'm getting a little tired, I'm ready to go. And you go back to the front of the house and realize all your parents have left. There's not a car in the driveway. And then we would start an argument out of that and sit on the front porch, argue over who parents coming back and get them. I know my mother must have went to the store because there ain't no way she left me out here in the country in the dark, right? And all the kids are sitting there until my grandmother finally come out and say, y'all got 5 minutes, take a bath, go to bed, or everybody getting a whoop. That was the realization that your parents had really left. And then in the morning, you started the child labor camp, which started with go get your own breakfast. So she started, right, handing out jobs. Chris, you go out there to that chicken coop and get the eggs. Well, I gotta go to the chicken coop to get the eggs. I could just go to the store and get the eggs. She said, we don't get no eggs from the store. We get them right from the chicken. I don't really think that chicken want to give me them eggs. You ever try to get the eggs right from the chicken? Chicken don't really agree with that concept, do you? You know, and then she'd go out there and grab a chicken by the neck and snap his neck, and we was playing with him yesterday, so we all just backed up in the corner like this. Because we're not about to eat chicken from the yard. We eat chicken from the grocery store, but not from the yard. No, so I mean, I say all of this to say, you don't know what people's concept of vacation is. See, vacation wasn't a big thing to me. Although I had made a lot of money, I never left the country. See, I fractioned the occasional law growing up. Not on purpose, I ain't know the laws. Wasn't no law class in grammar school. So I always thought if I left the country, what if they figure out what I did and don't let me back in? So I never left. I went to some of the best 5-star resorts in America there ever was. But right up to 2006, having earned millions in my lifetime, had a great lifestyle, a beautiful car, I had never left the country because I thought if you leave, you might not get back in. It wasn't until I was exposed to the travel industry, and then I took that first trip, and it was a cruise, I think, and it was like $240, including the taxes, for a week. And I went on this cruise out of New Orleans, and I thought, you know, because I calculate, I save money. And I thought $249, and it includes the food. I could move out of my place and live on this cruise ship. And for $1,000 a month, I could just ride around and eat all you can eat. Now you tell me for $1,000 a month, including food, that's not a deal, right? I didn't know you could only do it once and then you had to get off, you know? But I started calculating, I was going to sell all my stuff, live in that little room and just eat. And then they let me back in the country. And I said, man, this is cool. And then since 2006 to now, I've probably been to 50 countries. So travel might not be the thing that's in your skin right now. You might see some people sitting going, I don't know if I can do travel. I don't know if travel is for me. Okay, stop worrying about that. Let me ask you this question. Is money for you? Because you could be the first part of my life, which was I made a ton of money, never went anywhere. I was still happy. Because I grew up broke, right? Anytime you grow up broke, end up with money, real hard not to be happy. I smiled all the time. I had a really good life. But then when I learned to travel and broaden my, it just changed my life and opened up a whole world. But see, let's get back to the core reason why we're here. because all of you didn't come sit in this room because you were really interested in finding out how you could travel. You already know how to travel. You can go online and click on any website and travel. You're here in this room because you want to make some money.
That's right.
All right.
And you want to make money for different reasons. Some of you just want to make a little extra money. Some of you want an entire career change. Some of you want to change your life completely. You don't like nothing about it. Whichever one it is, that's okay. What I want you to understand is that you can do that here. See, this is the beginning of 2016 right now. See, let me tell you something about humans. We have a curve when it comes to doing what we need to do. It's kind of like a car. I used to have a cherry red Porsche 944 S Turbo. Coach will understand this because Coach has owned every car that's ever been made fast to man. If it was fast and raceable, he had one in his garage. So you understand what I'm about to say. And when you would hit the gas, there was a hesitation, Scott, as the turbo kicked in. So it made a whole lot of noise, but it moved kind of slow and then it went. See, that's that curve. You could hear it coming, but it ain't get there yet. But when that turbo kicked in, everything needed to move. And I would hit it often, like every time. Like, you understand? I could be just going to the light. It was like, oh. That's how I drove it everywhere I went. Light turned green. Like, that guy's gonna kill himself. He only going to the grocery store. I done put my gloves on, shaved. I had a whole routine. Then I back it out, and then But you know, that's kind of how it is when you're going into business. When you want to see, 2016 starting now because the turbo got to have a little time to kick in. If you want to change 2016, what you got to do is change this next 6 weeks. See, you got to keep it right now. You got to make a decision. The timing of this meeting has never been better than it is right now because this is the time. This is the time when you can say, you know what? I'm going to zero out all my credit cards because I'm going to join Surge and I'm going to make sure that the mentors here show me how to get that $1,000 and $10,000 bonus. And give yourself a Christmas present of zero debt. Or you might be thinking, I'm going to give myself a cash holiday. I'm going to go make enough money that everything I want and everything I want to give people, I'm going to pay for with cash. So I don't have to charge anything going into the new year. You might just be thinking, all I'm going to give out this year is cash. See, some of you make that kind of money. And I'm going to make enough money to be able to bless everyone in my family with a little bit of financial help. See, whichever one of those things is get under your skin. See, that's what you should be thinking right now, whether or not it's true. Listen to me. Guys, I could sell rocks. So I don't get caught up in what was in the right. You don't think so? I have you in here right now doing a full presentation on the low maintenance ability of rock and feng shui decorating. You'll never have to cut grass again in your life, and we'll change all the energy on your property. We're gonna start with a rock pond in the front yard. By the time I'm done, you're going to have a full rock driveway, a whole rock pools, and jacuzzi system. You hear what I'm saying? I'm going to even throw in a pet rock with eyes. Change your, see, you can, that's people selling all kind of stuff don't make no sense. Travel makes sense. It's the largest industry in the world. That means people, most countries, travel is their entire gross national product. If they don't get tourism, they would not be able to exist. You cannot fail in that industry. As Scott said, this is not about trying to stand up. This is about standing up. So you got to get serious today. I'm not going to keep you long. I'm wore out. Yeah, it was, you know, and but I'm so excited. I was no way I was missing it, Nakia. You understand that? There's no way I'm not going to be here for the presentation of the first. I saw that BMW drop. You sure y'all don't want me to ride around, make sure it works? Because we don't want to give her a car that don't work, right? But I saw that as I was pulling in. That just excites me like you can't believe. Because guys, all of us started in a humble place. with nothing. And when you get to the point where you have a company that's really changing lives, see, I'm not talking about setting people up. I'm not talking about give you a car that is a carrot that makes you have to work harder because if you don't qualify, we're going to take it back. This car is hers. Am I right? That's how the program still right? So she served with us, and this car is hers. This car will be titled in her. This car will have no payments. Ever. The biggest concern she'll have with this car is keeping her kids from stealing it. That's like the only concern. And one of them's here already, like she ain't gonna get it home. The son is already gonna jump in. He's ready to drop the top and get going. But as you see what we do the rest of the day, can I ask you to do a favor? Every face you see get recognized. Every face you see get money. Every face you see get a car. In your mind, cut off their head and put your head. Put your head on that body. Now I know all these bodies not pretty. I mean, I'm starting with mine. One thing I am though is in shape, because round is a shape. Some of y'all get it confused, but I am perfectly symmetrically round. Understand that, McKee? Perfectly. So that's like perfect shape. They ought to have a magazine. That's a whole nother training. Put your head on everybody that walks this stage and decide today you're going to change your whole 2016 by kicking your turbo boosters in now. So by the time everybody else is screaming Happy New Year, your Happy New Year already started. Is that a deal?